So let's see the JavaScript. Okay, let me take you through the material as well once. In switch also we have seen, for loop we have seen. Okay, we'll see now arrays. Okay, so forms and form values, I have already shown you how to create a simple form. So we'll go directly into that one. Okay, so we'll see how to validate the input fields as well. Okay, now let's see what is array. What is array? Array is nothing but a collection. Okay, in different languages, array is a collection of similar data types. Okay, JavaScript, it is a collection. It can be a collection of similar data types, or it can be a collection of dissimilar data types. Okay, so that is the advantage in JavaScript. Okay, so array can hold more than one value at a time because it is a collection. Okay, you can hold many values under a single name. Okay, so we can, if it is holding n number of values, how can we reference it? Using the index number. Okay, and we'll see how to play with the JavaScript arrays as well, like sorting, ascending, descending. Okay, we'll see that as well. Okay, so arrays we treat in JavaScript as an object as well. Okay, because it contains more than one element, right? So what is the syntax of an array? So array starts with the square brackets, and it can contain n number of values. It can contain an array also. It can contain a JSON object as well. No problem, it will take. Okay, so if you are, how to identify number of objects? Okay, you can see that each object or the value will be separated by comma. You see 1, 2, 3. We have 3 strings. Okay, so each value is separated by a comma. Okay, then how do we know the array length? How many objects are there in the array? Okay, array has an attribute called length. Okay, we can find out the length of the array. Okay, then how do we find each element? Okay, so let's see that. I'll go to W3 SQL, which we have editor. Okay, we go. So where is, okay, let's see. Okay, so you see it has a cars, array cars. Okay, Saab, Volvo, BMW. Okay, and when you try to print this value, you see that it comes as a string. Okay, so if I want to know the length of the array, how can I do that? Dot length. Okay, so the length of the array is 3. But the index of first element starts with 0 and the last element is nothing but length minus 1. Okay, so if I want to know the first element, I can put cars of 0, I'll get Saab. If I put cars of 1, I'll get Volvo. If I say cars dot length minus 1, you get BMW. Okay, if I say length, I'll get undefined because the array has 3 elements and the array index starts with 0 and ends with length minus 1. Okay, so always use length minus 1 if you want to see the last element. Okay, so fine. I want to print all the elements. Okay, fine. You can do that by putting cars. You'll get it. But I want to print array of cars, the first element of a car or first element of a car is what? Okay, if you want to do that, then we need to use for loop. Okay, first where I equal to 0, I less than, I put a condition. Okay, cars dot length. So if it is 3, I less than 3. So it will 0, 1, 2. So it comes. Okay, I'm not putting equal to. Okay, equal to cars dot length. I plus plus. Okay, so if I say here plus equal to cars of I plus, it's a line break. Okay, now you see it brings like this. Okay, let me put this comment. Okay, but I want to print a little bit more. Okay, what I can do is, you see I have used plus equal to means. Here means if I say x plus equal y, that means x equal to x plus y. Okay, so this is the statement of x plus equal to y. Okay, so I have used that. Okay, I'll say here, I'll put something Here, cars of, okay, now you see, cars of 0 element is SAP, cars of 1 is Volvo, cars of 2 is BM, okay, so fine. We'll change this constant to let, okay, and here I want to add a new element to the array. How can I add it? Okay, one way is you can add it by using a position, or you can add it by thing. Suppose if I want to change from SAP to nano, okay, I can do it as you can say cars of 0 equal to nano. Okay, see, instead of SAP, it is now, okay, by directly you can change the values of that element. Okay, fine. So I want to add a new element in addition to the existing one. Okay, fine, you can do that. I say cars dot, okay, I will say Maruti 400. Okay. So if I say run, you see that push has added the element to the last. Okay, fine. So I want to add it to the first. Okay, I say cars dot unshift. Okay, so you see, if I use unshift, what did it happen? It moved to the top. Okay, so unshift will add it to the top and push will add it to the last. Clear so far? This one adds element to the last. Okay, this one adds the elements. Okay, fine. Clear so far? So let me give you this code. Okay, fine. Now we want to remove the element. Remove the first element, remove the last element. Okay, so let's see, there is another thing called dot pop. So what does pop does? It is removing the last element. Okay, so this is the last element. Okay. I'll say cars dot shift. What does it do? Cars dot shift. It removed the first element. Okay, fine. Okay. Fine. So what I will do is I want to sort it. I want to sort the cars and then I want to remove the first and last. Okay, so I can do one. I can use a method called cars.sort. Okay, so let me show you. First of all, let me comment this. Okay, so cars.sort is sorted according to the ascending order. Okay, now I want it in descending order. Okay, so if you want to have the cars in descending order, you cannot say desorter, there is no function like that. Okay, if you want to sort in descending order, first you need to sort in, so use the sort to do it in ascending order, and then you need to say cars dot reverse. Okay, got it? If you want to sort, you can use sort. But if you want to put directly the descending order, you don't have that feature in JavaScript. First, you need to sort it, and then you need to make reverse. That means it will completely reverse the things. So it becomes a descending order. Okay. So this is sorting ascending. Okay. So for descending, first apply sort and then use reverse. Fine. Clear this one? Clear with sort? How to play with the sort? Ascending or descending?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, that's good. So there are array methods. Okay, you see length, sort, join, pop, push. I have told you few. Okay, shift, unshift. Okay, delete is also there. Okay, you can check that. If you say delete fruits of 0, it deletes the first element. Okay, you can use push, unshift, shift to remove it as well. Okay, so you can see that one and you can go to array search. Okay, so you can use different methods. Okay, for searching, you have find, you can get with find index. Okay, find last index. Okay, so you see includes last index of. These are the methods which we have. Okay, so you see fruits dot index of apple. Okay, so it will give you the index. Apple is 0th position. Okay, so in order to, because virtually there is no 0th position. So for that we need to put 1. So that output will be 1. Okay, so we can, by using this one, by using the object, okay, we can find out at which position it is by using the method index of. The last index of means it will return. You see there is a apple, two things are there, right? So if you want to use last index of, then it will come from the last and it will count and it will give you the position. Okay, array iteration I told you. Okay, fine. So this is good for us. Okay, now let's go to JSON. Okay, let me see what we have here. Okay, let me check this one, what it has. Okay, this one we are directly playing in the XML, in the UI5. Okay, modifying the UI5 elements, we are doing that. Okay, so I'm not going to cover this here in HTML. So we can directly go in that UI5. Okay, only one thing you need to concentrate is what is regular expressions. Okay, so wait for a few days, and then you can explore this regular expressions. Okay. For the moment, we will go with the JSON jQuery there. Okay. You have some material here. Okay, but you can go through that. This is additional material. So you have material for creating this model and binding. Okay, let us check this. JSON here, I don't see the material. Okay, but this one is good enough. Okay. So, like XML, JSON is also used for storing data and transporting. Okay. Wow. Okay. What is JSON? Okay. It's nothing but an JavaScript object notation. Okay. And it is lightweight when compared to XML for data interchange format. Okay. Like XML, it is also language independent. Like XML, it is self-describing and easy to understand, but easy to understand when compared to XML. Okay. Okay. So this is nothing but an object notation, we said, right? Object notation means, okay, suppose you consider a person. What does the person have? Attributes like name. We identify a person using a name. Okay, we can know the age of the person. Okay, we can know what car that person has. Okay, so for an object, we can say, if you consider an object as a person, we have three properties: name, age, car. Okay, so here JSON object will be in flower brackets. Okay, so JSON object will be in flower brackets, whereas array will be in square brackets. Okay, so if you want to know each property of the object, okay, we can get those values by saying, if you consider this as an object, forget about the port. Okay, if this is a port, means it treats as a string. Okay, we assume that without. Okay, so if you say this as an object, okay, and if you want to know the value of the object of the name, then we can say obj.name, okay, gives you John. Obj.age gives you 30. Obj.car gives you null. Okay, null means the person doesn't have car. Can I issue? Yeah. Okay. So you see that this is a string, but the string is in the form of a JSON object. How can we convert this string to a JSON object? And simultaneously, we need to convert JSON object into JSON object to string and string to JSON object. Okay, so how can we do that? Okay, so for that, they have given two methods, parse and stringify. Parse means it will convert the JSON string to a JSON object. Okay, so if you say JSON or stringify, it does the reverse. It converts the JSON object to a JSON string. Okay, because sometimes we pass the values in JSON object and sometimes we pass the values to the server in the form of JSON string. Okay, so that's why it's important to convert into string or object. Okay, let's see that in syntax now. Okay, so in the object we have different datas and we get the values of the data by using a property, right? So each data has a name value pairs. Okay, so property and value, and property and value is separated by semicolon. Okay, each data is separated by comma, and the JSON object is held in a curly braces. We call it flower braces. Okay, square brackets holds arrays. Okay, fine. So let's see the example. We say data. So data, we hold it in a name value pair. Okay, so property first is the property and then the value. The property is here name and the value is John. Okay, sometimes it is not mandatory to give the codes for the property name as well. Okay, we can simply say name and colon. The value, it depends. Is it a string or it is a number or it is a another object? Okay, Boolean, it can be anything value. Okay. So what values can a JSON object hold? Say we can hold JSON values can be a string, it can be a number, it can be an object, it can be an array, or it can be a Boolean, or it can be a null. Okay. These are the 7 things it can hold. What it cannot hold? It cannot hold a function, it cannot hold a date, it cannot hold undefined. These 3 things should be same. We have seen what is undefined. We have seen date function, date, new date, it means it will give the date, right? So that should not have, it should not have a function. Okay, so these 3 things should be taken care. So you can see JSON strings must be written in double quotes or single quotes. No problem. Let's see an example. Okay, so you see there is an object called my object. Okay, and this one object is in flower brackets. Okay, and you can see it holds different data. Okay, the data is as it comes in name value pair, name and value, name and the value, name and value. Okay, so each data is separated by comma. Okay, each data is separated by comma, and all the data are in flower brackets. If you want to get the value of the object, we can get that by using obj.name, obj.age, obj.city. Okay, you can see here obj.name gives you John. Okay, so if I say here obj.age, get 30. Okay, so if I say obj.city, you get New York. You can add a new object as well. Okay, I will say my obj dot equal double. Okay, so if I say obj, JSON object will print like this. Okay, we don't know what this object, right? So if you want to know the values, you need to convert it into string. So I will say stringy, it's a spelling mistake. It's not taking this one. Okay, I'll show you in console.
One question.
Yeah, tell me.
So if everything is in quotes, like name is in quotes, age label is in quotes, 30 is in quotes. If everything is in quotes, that is the string version of this object, right?
No. I will tell you. Okay, so if I say here my obj, you got object. Okay, let me click F12. You see object has come. Okay, so this will be like this: age 30 car BMW. See, car has been added to my object. Okay, fine. So if I say here, I can also retrieve the value by dot notation and also in array notation as well. Okay, so in 2 ways you can get the things. Okay, so if I can also say here my obj dot age equal to 25. You see here age is 25. So you can change the value of the object as well. Not only to retrieve the value, you can also change the value as okay. You can do it like this as well. Obj dot in array notation. You see the city has been changed. Okay, you can get the values by using dot notation or using array notation. Okay, fine. You are asking here name should be in quotes, right? So it can be or there's no need as well. Okay, but good to have quotes as well. You can put single quotes or double quotes, no problem. It's not mandatory that the name should contains quotes, single quote or double quote. It's not mandatory, but good practice is to. Okay, fine. So if I say here my obj dot stringify, It's giving a syntax error. Okay, because it's a constant. No. It's because of constant. Okay. Let me change to length.
It's just capital in stringify.
No, small. You see, JSON dot stringify. It's a small. We'll have the example. Don't worry. Here something got wrong. Let me clear the console and let me run one second. Okay. There's some issue here, but it should work. Okay. We'll come to this. No problem. Okay.
So this problem we faced a lot. Like when we are coding in our UI5 editor, BS, either it is XML or JavaScript. Like in ABAP, what we have, if you write something wrong, either you can check it, or if we activate it, it will give the error, the exact error. Do we have any utility that?
So it is there. Using try catch, we can put it and we can get that error. Okay.
Because it is very difficult, like you are facing right now. So we are not able to identify.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Okay. But it's saying that a stringify is not an object.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features? Bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
Okay, so it is an object, but it is not identified. Okay, fine. But let's see, the examples are there, don't worry. Syntax. Okay, so we have seen this. I'll show you example. Here it will be there. Okay, you see there's stringify and parse. I'll show it. Okay, so we have seen the values. Okay, this one we have tried to retrieve it and we can change it in the example. Okay, fine. Suppose if you want to save this file in external file, okay, then if you need to write it in a JSON, in a notepad, and you need to save the file with extension .json. Okay, so .json will treat that as a JSON file. Okay, fine. So let's now compare the advantages and disadvantages of using JSON and XML. Okay, so if you see this one, okay, you see XML, first XML, okay, you have 3 employees. Okay, so comparing to the same thing is written in JSON. Okay, but which is easier to read and which is easier to write and which is easier to understand? Which is easier to read and which is easier to write and which is easy to understand?
Human readability is better in JSON.
Yes.
Machine readability is better in XML.
Yes. Okay. So if you compare, both are serving the purpose. Both are self-described. Both are hierarchical levels. Okay. Both are parsed and used by a lot of programming languages. Okay. Both can be fetched using XML HTTP request. Okay. What are the dissimilarities? If you compare JSON and XML, okay, JSON doesn't use tags. JSON is shorter. JSON is quicker to read and write. And JSON uses arrays. You see here, it uses arrays. Okay, you can see that this is an object, JSON object. This is also a JSON object. This is also a JSON object. And if you put it in an array, it becomes a collection. And the array object is assigned to another JSON name. Okay, so this one array, we are assigning array to a JSON data with of name employee. Okay, fine. So that's why I told you first arrays and then I came to JSON objects. Okay, fine. And if you see the performance, JSON is twice faster than XML. So performance-wise, JSON is far better. Okay, and if you want to retrieve anything in XML, you need to go in a tree structure, okay, hierarchical. Okay, you need to loop. Here also we do, but it is faster in JSON. Okay, you can convert JSON into an object, JSON string into an object by using JSON.parse. Reverse is JSON.stringify. Okay, maybe capital S here might be something. Let me try with capital S. No, still an issue. Fine. Let's see. Example is in will come to. Okay. So we have already discussed this. A JSON data type can be a string, can be a number, can be an object, can be an array, can be a boolean or null. Okay, what it cannot be have? It cannot be a function, it cannot be a data, it cannot be undefined. Okay, let's see the JSON.parse. Okay, so you see this one is in string. Okay, we are getting the data from the server. Assume that we are getting the data from the server in the form of a JSON string. Okay, so if you want to convert it into the JSON object, then you need to use JSON.parse. Okay, that's a mistake. I need to use a JSON.parse, so not JSON.stringify of my obj. Okay, now you see it is in a string format. If it is an object, how did it come? It expanded in a tree structure. Okay, and we can see name, age, name John, and in the next line age 25, next line city California. Okay, so this is how it looked, right? So in this way we can convert it to.
So it didn't convert this 25 age to string, right?
It converted the entire thing into the string. Okay, it didn't convert the values inside the data to string. It converted the entire JSON to string.
So how can we know that? Because this name in California, name, age, and city, we can put quotes as well. How will we know that this is normal JSON object or it is the string version? By just looking at it.
Can you compare it now?
Okay. So in console, we are able to go into attributes.
Yes.
But here it's not possible.
Okay.
Okay. I will just try it. Try declaring with quotes on name, age, and I will see.
Okay, fine. So this is how we see that. Okay. So if it comes here as a string, we use JSON.parse to convert that object to a JSON object. Okay. So in this example, you can clearly see. You see text. Okay. They converted an object and they are able to get the value. Okay. If I say here txt.object, you will clearly see txt. It gives you undefined. But object, when it is converted into the object by using JSON.parse, okay, you can see that it is coming this one. Or you can simply see, I will put in alert as well, alert txt, okay, and then here I will put alert object, okay. You see, by this itself you can say that it is a string. Next you see object, okay. If you say type of, so you see it is a string, okay. If I say here type of, first is a string, next is an object. Okay. By using type of, you can identify whether it is a string or object. Okay, you know that this will be a JSON thing, but you're not sure whether it is a string or JSON object. Then you can use this type of. You can compare it with whether this is a string or object. If it is string, you can convert it to a JSON object by using JSON.parse of that text. So it is converting to the object, JSON object. And then you can print the values. Okay, got it? How to identify? Fine. Okay. Likewise, you can convert JSON object to string. Okay, which I have done in the first example. Okay, you can say here alert obj. Okay, and then here alert my. Okay, so this one, first one is an object, second one is a string. Okay, and these are the two ways which we do it. Okay, like you stringify, these all stringifies. Okay, let me check with the. We had told you this. Okay, let's go to JSON arrays. This one out. Okay, so for loop, you can do in for loop as well. Okay, you can see here my JSON, it is a string starting with quotes. Okay, then they are converting into the JSON object. Okay, and you can see they're using a for loop to get the values. Okay, so you can clearly see there is another way. Let any variable in my object. Okay, this will give you this object, and in the object they are printing the cars because cars is another array. Okay, I say here console.log obj.cars. Okay, you see you're getting cars. Okay, this will form as an index now. Okay, and it will loop till the end of the time. Okay, this is another way of using the frame. If I say my object of I will get like this. Okay, so but if I want like my object of I equal to what? Okay, we can do that. I'll show here. Obj, I'll put BR. Okay, so I is giving the name of the object. Okay, I first one is name, next is age, next is cars. Okay, so that is the use of this. Okay, I need to put whatever for your advantage of that. Okay, so this is the use of this. Okay, so let me print you this one so that it will be helpful for you.
Sorry, please explain this one again. Plus I plus.
Yeah, I will explain. Okay. So you see, if I initially they printed my object of I. Okay. So you get John 30 Ford BMW Freight. Okay. But I want to understand what this I is taking here. Okay, because I'm looping the object, entire object. Okay. So here, if I say any variable, let I, okay, in my object, means it will loop based on the property name. Okay, so you can see that there are three properties: name, age, and cars. Right? So you can see that for the first I, the I takes off name. So my object of name, what's the value of it? John. That's why you got John. Okay, my object of age will give you 30. Okay, my object of cars will give you the array. Got it? Previously we used for loop in another way. It's like if condition, so if initialization, colon, condition, and then increment. Right? So there is another way to use the for loop. Okay, for variable or let any variable name in my object. Okay, and when we loop that, it loops through the object name, means data name. There are three datas. Okay, one is name, other is age, other is cars, another object. It is looping through the data. Okay, but what it is looping? It is looping into the data names. Data comes in value, name value pairs. So it is looking the name. Here the name is, first one is name, the next one is age, next one is cars, next one is city. Okay, so that's how you get the out. Clear? Fine. Can you practice that? Arrays. What is an array? How to sort an array? Okay. How to play with the JSON object. Can you see that? I have given you all the code. Okay. Just you need to see and analyze the things for the moment. Okay. So once you are done, okay, at 10:30, we will create a JSON file. How do we create a JSON file? We create with the .json. Okay, we will create that file in our UI file. Okay, and we will create the model, JSON model, and we will bind it to our simple form. Okay, so I have given whatever examples I have told, I have pinged you. Okay, just try to understand the things by working them. Okay, I've told you, I've given you an example on arrays, sorting, descending, adding a new element first and last, removing the element from first and last. Okay, I've also given you about an object. Okay, what is the use of stringify? What is the use of parse? Okay, how can we do that? So apart from that, the example is already there in this one, but apart from that, I try to explain you the JSON arrays as well. Okay, just took that one and more, to be more precise, I have given you like this. Okay, fine.
One thing, like I told you earlier, when we go to, when you just show us when coding in VS, I would like you to show a way to check the syntax, because there is no way to check the syntax as of now. We have to find it ourselves if any error happens.
So in the text editor, we need to find, but during the runtime, we can do another way. Okay. See, I have told you there is a use strict. Okay. So in UI5, you have something called use strict. Okay. So that will help you in putting the things. Okay. So if I say here x equal to 10. Okay. So it is giving you, if I put a cursor here, you see, it is giving you some indication. Okay, this is not declared. Okay. So in that way, it will help us use it.
So apart from this, we don't have any plugin which can check the syntax of the code.
No, it can't.
Generally, like if it is case sensitive, right? So it happens a lot that we forgot to apply the case to a variable somewhere in the code, and the net result is that nothing appears in the view. But we are not. It's very difficult to pinpoint what happened. But in ABAP,
it will show in the console. It will show you where the error you have done.
But in during activation of code, we don't activate. We just save it. There we don't have anything.
No. It is the developer who has to take care of that.
Right.
Here I have asked one task to take a label and a button. 2 buttons, and on click of one button to hide the label, and on click of another button to show the label. Okay. Any questions, guys? Yes.
Can we sort alphabetical orders?
Yes, you can do it by using sort.
Sort is not giving, like cars.sort is there.
Share me a screen.
This is sort, right? Suppose I just comment this.
It is in descending order. No. It is in ascending order only.
Yes, it is ascending order. Okay. I take reverse.
Reverse. Run. It is doing in the descending order.
Okay.
Let's create a JSON file. Okay. How do we create? The file should extend .json. Okay. So go to web folder. Okay. Or we can put model. We can put it in the model. Okay. And we'll say new file. Okay. And I'll say person.json. Okay. So you see .json file. It has created. So JSON will always be in flower brackets. Okay. I'll put here person details. Okay. And I'll say flower bracket. Okay. And I will give the details like F name, L name, age, salary. Okay. So this is the thing. It is showing here problem, right? So you can put in double quotes also. No problem. Okay. So everybody create a JSON object like this. Once done, let me know. I created a person.json file. Okay, in the model, right click it and say new file, and it will come and give the name.json and give the person object details inside the JSON file. Done, completed. Yep, we have created one JSON file. Okay. Once you are done creating this file, let me know. The next step is to add the configurations for this file to make this as a model. Okay. We'll be making this as a JSON model. Okay. There are different types of JSON, different types of models. Okay. One is resource model, one is JSON model, another is OData model. Okay. So resource model is one way. Okay, JSON model and OData model are 2 ways. Okay, 2 ways means when we change the data in the model, it reflects in the output as well. When we change the data in the output, it reflects in the model as well. That is the meaning of 2 way. Resource model 1 way because once it is fixed, it cannot be changed. Okay, in the runtime. Okay, that's the meaning of that. Are you done? Completed?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay. So now we go to the manifest.json. Okay. In the manifest.json, we need to use, I said there are 3 sections. One is sap.app, one is sap.ui, and another is sap.ui. Okay. We need to add the data source in this section. Okay. So I'll show you how it looks. Okay, so you can see the data source. Okay, so we need to add this data source. Okay, the data source, for this data source, we give an alias. Okay. In this one, we have another JSON block where we mention the location of the file and the type of the file. Okay. So let me go to my manifest.json. I will, after the line 17, I'm going to put this and let me change the things. I need till only here. I don't other things. Okay. So I will give an alias. Okay. I will say DS per. Okay. Data source for person. Okay. DS per is the alias for me. Okay. And I need to mention the things right where the file is. Okay, the file is under web app folder and manifest.json is also in the web app folder. Fine. So I need to go to model and I simply say model / person.json. I've given my URL. Okay, and the type is JSON because it is JSON mode. Okay, so once that is done, there's one more. Okay, so this need to be added. Okay. Let me ping you this so that such that you can add it in your manifest.json. Okay. So
Question.
yeah.
So is there any convention that DSP capital, right? You have written.
It's a case, camel case. Okay. So that it is understandable that okay, this one word has finished and the next word is beginning. Why camel case?
Okay.
How does a camel have it has a hood? Some camels. Okay. So I will tell you here. Tell me which is better.
Yeah. Second one.
Which is readable and which is more understandable. Second.
Yeah, it's the second one. Yeah.
So this we call it as a camel case. So it goes from down to the capital letter and then it comes down to the small letter. And again, when the next word comes, it goes to the capital letter. Okay? Fine?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It required that data sources always in SAP app folder?
Yes. Yes. It should be in SAP.app section only.
Okay.
Okay, because by default, we didn't select any data source at the beginning of the creating the template. You remember, right? So
yes.
We selected none. So that's why it didn't come. Okay, so if we have selected the data source, whether it is a JSON or metadata or something, anything, it comes as per the, okay. So this is a named alias for the data source. Okay, so once in the application, because this section is related to the SAP application. SAP application has a data source. Okay. So data source can be a OData service as well. Okay. So once you are done, let me know. I will tell you the next part of the configuration that need to be taken care of. Okay. So here we have created a JSON file and we have pointed in the application that the source of the data source is the URI, that is model/person.json. It's in the model folder. Under the model folder, the location is person.json. Okay, what the type should be? Okay, since we are using JSON, the type is, you need to mention it as a JSON characters. Okay, and for this one, we are using an alias, that is DS, okay, data source per person. You can give any name. No problem. Okay. But when you are using that alias for creating a model, we need to know that. Okay.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
Fine. Once you are done, let me.
It's done.
So once this is done, we need to create a model. Okay. You can see there is a section called model. Okay. In that, a model already created with IATNIA. That is nothing but a resource model. Fine. So here we are going to create a new model by saying, okay, because we are adding a new model, we need to put at the end of the I18N structure, I need to put a comma and I need to create an alias. I'll say M per, that is model per, or I'll put MD per. Okay, model per. Yeah. So here the source will be, so that we can mention this as a type. First, we need to know the type. Okay, because type. Okay, we can mention that here this should be JSON model. Okay, how to put the JSON model? Okay, so JSON type. Okay, let me go to SAP Fiori Explode. Okay, let me go to API reference. Okay, and I can say JSON model. Okay, this one. Okay, I need to give this entire thing. SAP.UI.json. Okay, I'll copy this. Okay, so since we are making it as a JSON model, we need to give what type it is. Previously, you see type as JSON resource model. So likewise, we need to mention what the model type is. Okay, we are making it as a JSON. Okay, and here we need to mention source. What is the source? We are using data source. Okay, what is the alias which we have given in the data source? DS per. Okay, so when we are going to use this model, it looks into this data source by using the alias. Okay, this is in UI5 section and that is in total entire application. Okay, so this DS per looks into that alias of the data source and it retrieves the file of my JSON. Okay, fine, clear? So let me ping you this as well so that you can, while typing it makes mistakes. So that's why okay. That should be written at the end of this block, I18N. Okay. So once this is done, we have the steps you can follow. See, we have created a JSON file in a particular URI. Okay. And we have first created the data source in the application section of manifest.json. This is nothing but a configuration file. Okay. What changes need to be done, we do it here. Okay, so we have added the data source. So we have given an alias, and in the alias it points to the URI where the file is and what is the type of the file. Okay, and then in the UI5 section we have added the model with the alias name MD per. Okay, and we mentioned the type as JSON model, and we referred the data source which is pointing by using the alias. So till here everybody should be clear. Okay, so once we are done this one, we will use this alias MD per to get the values of first name, last. Okay, so let me go to the view now, intro view. Okay, we have a simple form. Okay, and we have this input. We need to bind it to our input. Okay, so we have an attribute called value for the input. Okay, and then single quote, double quotes, and we need to bind the value using the model. Okay, this type of binding is known as property binding. Okay, binding the value of the model directly to the UI5 element. Okay, so whenever we say model, that will be in flower brackets. Okay, what is the alias which we have used? MD per, right? And followed by arrow mark. Okay, followed by, if you see our person.json, what is the identity for this one? Data name is person details. Okay, I'm copying this one, going to my intro. Okay, I'll put slash. Okay, and then again, what is my property for last name? It is L name. Okay, so I have binded it. Let me save this and let me see whether it works out. Okay, let me run my file. Okay, you see that Sahu has automatically come now. Previously, input value. Okay, let me remove this one. First name I will remove it. Control S. The last name, you can see I have binded it, and you can see that I have not hard coded it, but it is coming through the model, and you can see that it is coming. Okay, fine. So we have binded the model to the input element. That is known as property binding. So far, first we created the data source, and then we created the model using the data source alias, and then using JSON model, and then we added that to the input by using a binding called property binding. Okay. Can all of you do till here? Can you add it? This one. This is MD per is the model alias followed by arrow mark. Since it is an alias, we put arrow mark. Okay, after that. And this is the person details is nothing but name of this object. The values are inside the object. Okay, so the name of the object is person details. So I put slash person details. In that person details, we have a name. Okay, can everybody do that and see whether you are able to get that? I'll ping you this as well. Okay, but if it is the same thing, no problem. But if the input is different, then you need to put the value attribute only, not variability. Okay. Okay. So try to do the binding for all the things and see whether you are getting or not. Likewise, you need to do binding for all the first name, last name, age, and salary. Okay. Let me know if you are facing a problem in doing all the things. I will help.
JSON is also case sensitive, right? Whatever
Yes.
we given the name, yeah.
No, within course, that is case sensitive. Okay.
Okay.
It's working. Yes.
Okay, then do one thing. Okay, so I have put currency description, right? You add an attribute in the JSON currency and put a currency value as well. Okay, and remove the hard-coded value and bind it with the currency. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Can we also use this model person in the text attribute of that label ID is equals to ID name?
You mean in the JSON model in the file? This one?
See, we can store any value here, right?
Yes, we can store any value. No issue. That's why I put text and string.
Can we use that in the label text? Can we use that?
That comes under resource model. Okay. So I will tell you that. You can do that as well, but for labels, we don't go for a model. Okay.
Okay.
Let me add from my side as well. So I put in the label list. Okay, here my output didn't come. That means an issue. Yeah, here because okay, I will show you the issue output as well. Okay, F12. Go to console. You see, it's saying column 18 XML URL SAP.m is not absolute. Okay, so it didn't give me an exact thing. Okay, but there's something wrong in the XML file. Okay. So because you can see now it is syntactically it is showing that here it cannot have. Let me close this. Now you see I got the values. Okay, so this is known as property binding through JSON model. Okay, which came through the file. Okay, fine. Okay, any questions so far? Okay. So good. No questions. Can anybody show the program which I have asked you yesterday to make through programmatically make hide and visible on click of button?
So hide or enable or disable?
Anything, no problem. I would like to know how did you do that? Are you able to do that?
Okay. I just given this button, enable and disable button one.
Okay, I was not interested. Yeah, click on that.
If you click reject, it is enable. Accept, disable.
Okay, fine. So next thing, like whenever you click that accept thing, okay, the other button should be hidden.
Which one? Okay. This one? Hidden.
Yeah, reject should be hidden. Sorry.
Okay.
Wait, sorry. I mean to say, initially the reject should be hidden. Okay. When you click accept, the reject should be visible. Okay. And the accept should be hidden. And when you click reject, okay, the vice versa.
Okay. Like enable, disable, not hide, because I didn't see any hide property is here.
I have given you the property called visible.
Visible.
Visible. It will not come here. Okay,
Huh?
it's generic for all.
Oh, okay. It will not show here also properties. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Click on show borrowed properties.
Which
Show
one?
borrowed properties.
Properties?
There is a checkbox show borrowed properties in the top. Inside within properties only.
Okay.
So, show borrowed properties.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this will bring properties from superclasses, just like we had filter for body.
Okay. Got it.
When you apply, when you uncheck filter, it will bring everything from super, same kind of concept. Maybe you can explain with the help of an example how these classes are related, how we can find properties and methods from super classes. In your example, just like we have used visible.
V should be capital. Set is the next word, right? So it will be V capital.
If I give the V capital, no, it is okay. I gave the V capital, but it is not came. But property is showing here when I press like this. Set V is not capital.
Yeah, V is small there.
Yeah.
No, it should be capital. Put capital and try.
I already did this. Oh, when it is changing, it is going. Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah, it worked.
It works.
Okay, fine, good. Okay. Now we'll see how to, when I change the property of this, when I change the value of this one, the thing should also, it should change in the model. Okay, how to capture that. Okay, so hope you are able to see my screen. Let me go to the code clear form. Okay, I need to write the code here. Let me put a debugging point for this. So if I click clear, it should clear the things. Okay, and let me put how to set the value. Okay, I say this dot by ID. Okay, what's the ID of that label? I'll put LName. I did this one input. Okay, I'll capture that object, and then I'll say there's a method for the attribute value. There is a method called set value. Okay, I'm putting blank. Okay, I'll do one more thing. I want to get the model that is assigned to the view. Okay, so I'll say var o model equal to this dot get owner component dot get model of MD. And let me put, I will explain this. Okay, now let me click F12. Okay, and let me go to the source. Okay, let me go to this one. Let me put a debugging point at line 26. Okay, so once I say clear, you see that the last name has become empty. Okay, let's see whether it reflected in the model or not. How do I get that model? Okay, so I have used this dot get owner component or get model MD per. MD per is my model alias. Okay, so if I want to get that model thing, I need to use a method called get model. Okay, so I said this. Okay, this is the global variable. Okay, so let me put explain you in watch. Okay, I said this. I said this dot get owner component means it brings me the manifest.json file. Okay, so in the manifest.json, okay, you see I got so many things. Okay, you see targets, views. Okay. There will be model as well. Who models? What are the models which are there in that I18N M model? I want to get this model. Okay, to get this model, okay, I'm using dot get model. If I say get model, I won't get anything because if the alias is not there, that means it is a default model. So far, I have not used any default model. Okay, so that's why you are getting undefined. If I want to know that model, then I need to say here MD per. That is a model alias. Okay, so in this model alias, okay, you see there is something called OData. Okay, there's a OData, and you can see my ID for that name, person details. In the person details, you can see age is 30, currency is USD, name is F name is and last name is empty. Why last name is empty? because I have binded the model to the UI element using property bind, right? So once since JSON is a two-way binding, if I change the value, okay, it will reflect in the model, okay? So that's why you are able to see this empty in the model, okay? Understood? Should I explain again?
Can you please how to navigate all this stuff? Can you explain again?
Okay. So what I have done is I have put a breakpoint. I have open the controller, click on F12, go to source, okay, source tab, and in the source tab you have like this it will be, okay. Expand the first one, you see the controller. In the controller, click on your main file, that is intro.controller, okay, in my case, okay. Then I have put a debugging point like this. You need to select the line that you want to put a debug. You want to stop the execution. Okay. So if I say clear now, you see that it is stopped at that point. Okay. So in the clear means I want to clear the fields, right? So I need to put a blank value, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm able to set the value to the field, not to the model, right? I've set the value to the field, not to the model.
Okay.
Okay. But it is reflecting inside the model as well, right?
Yes.
Because this input is binded to the JSON model through property binding. We have given MD per arrow mark / person details / LName, right?
Yes.
In the value. So once we change the value, it reflects in the model as well. Because of two-way binding. We have seen one way coming from the model to the input element. Okay. Now we are changing in the input element and that is reflecting in the model.
Okay.
That is known as two-way binding.
So it is updated in the model.
Yes.
Again we refresh, that cleared one will not come, right? It is already updated in the database.
It's
like that?
Not database, model. It's a local model.
Temporary runtime. Right. Like we have internal table in a web like that. We clear it.
Okay. And likewise, okay. So to get the model, I need to get the manifest.json file. Okay. So where this manifest.json file is located in the component.js file. So that's why I used this .getOwner component. It gives the manifest.json file. In the manifest.json file, we have many configurations. Okay, to get one of the model of these things, I used .getModel. And in the model, I have the alias. That is, alias is MD per. Okay, so I'm able to capture it. So after that, if I say .get the data, I will get the object, nothing but person details. Okay, so after getting that, I can say .person details. Okay, so you will see now age. Okay, now if I say age equal to 0. Okay, so when after executing this, it should become 0. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went into the debugging. It should also work. Age is 0. It is showing, but it is not reflecting or any other. Okay, let me see. It didn't. Okay. Let me try once again. I'll do another way. I'll say get data dot property / person details / ph comma. Yeah. Now it reflected. Okay, so you can see that I'm able to change from the property. Okay, you see for this, let me copy this and let me go to the UIFI code. Okay, so I want to previously for first one I have set the value through the UI element. Second one I'm setting the value through the model. Okay, so to clear, I'm setting, you can see this .getOwner component, .getModel, model alias, .set property. Okay, set property of what? Person details / age, because in the age is in the person details. Okay, so you can use this set property. Okay, so if you can use the set property and give the property name, comma, value. That value can be set. Okay, you can set like this. If you say get property of person age, okay, you will get the output as well. Okay, so let me say clear button now. Okay, so now let me get the property value. Okay, instead of set property, I will use get property. Okay, and if I say instead of age, I will put F name. Okay, okay, you see, it is getting the value of that. Okay, fine. So let me ping you this as well, such that you will come to know, say, set the value in the model. Okay. Next one is get the value in the model.
Can we change the values in debugging also?
Yes, we can change. I have shown you, right? It changed. Okay. This one.
There is no edit, right? You just change the value and enter. Is it that's it? Or anything we have to click or do anything?
Next step. Okay. Next it will or execute it will work. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Let me ping you this code, and you can play with changing the values. Okay. Fine. I have given you two ways how to set the value from the model, how to set the value from the input. Okay. Fine. In this way, it will clear the things. Okay. Just try to clear the rest of the values apart from currency. So you can change it through model or using the other. Okay. Both will have the effect. Okay. So just try it, and if you are facing any issues, let me know.